Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of the Triple B Experience. I'm the host, Bad Bubba Brewer, and I am very honored tonight because we're doing something this weekend at the Kastle in the Johnstown area. We are doing the last Allied Powers Wrestling Federation show, Nightmare at the Kastle, and we're doing it, part of a percentage of the ticket sales is going to be doing for this charity. We are going to introduce the founder of the Donald J Bennett Run for Wish, the founder, Brandon Mountain, to the show. Brandon, how you doing?
Good, Bubba. How are you?
Good. So let me ask you, how did you start this, and why did you start this charity?
So I started it in 2010 to fulfill some graduation requirements to graduate high school. We had three options. There was community service, job shadowing, and a research paper. And so I chose community service, and I did it Make-A-Wish in memory of my cousin Donald. Make-A-Wish granted him a wish, and I believe somewhere around 1999. And we were very much supporters of that as a family. And so it was kind of a no-brainer to go with something to do, for Make-A-Wish and something to do with motorcycles, because that's, something our family's into as well.
Okay. So you had to do it for a school project. So that's what they started doing later on in life, all these high schools. So you had to do some kind of civic duty kind of thing? Pretty much.
You could do a community service, or you could do a job shadow, and we had to do a presentation, in front of people. And so between those two, because I didn't want anything to do with a research paper, that's not fun at all.
No, probably not. I don't blame you.
So that's kind of where the idea sprouted up. And, that's where the first one went. And this August, we just had our 15th ride. So. Wow.
So getting started, what did it take you to get this charity started? Like, lay the groundwork on all the nooks and crannies on how you had to do that, because I'm sure starting a charity is not an easy thing to do.
No. So to start the first year, I reached out to our local chapter of ABATE in Indiana County, which is ABATE is Association of Bikers Aimed Towards Education. It's something that I'm a member of as well. But as a 17-year-old kid in high school, I wasn't real sure how to plan a motorcycle run, let alone, all the other stuff.
Right.
I reached out to them, went to a meeting with them, and I tell them this, and they all laugh. But as a 17-year-old kid, I'm walking into this back room at a bar, Maudie Sixers, and I'm like, I don't know what they, I don't know what they expect. You think about bikers and you think big, big bad nasty people, but it was nothing even close to that. So I went in and told them what I needed help with and what I wanted to do, and they welcomed me with open arms and did everything they could to help me. And we that year we started at Maudie Sixers. They're on 286 outside Indiana. I can't remember all the stops offhand, but it was a beautiful day, and we had a nice ride, and we ended down at the old McIntyre Inn down in McIntyre. And there we had a bunch of baskets to raffle off. And the support, I think we had 30 or 40 motorcycles that year.
Okay.
And it was, I'm here on the show with you, Bubba, and I'm the one that runs the Facebook page, and I talk on the radio, and I'm behind the mic at all our events, but without my family, none of this happens. So it's a family thing.
Okay. And like when you started at 17 years old, because no offense, I was 17 years old, and I didn't have any inclination on starting a charity like
Right.
this at that time of age.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what did it take being 17 and trying to go, especially going to A-Bait, walking in there and making connections and doing,
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of stuff. So how did you get that started?
Um, it all kind of just fell together. I mean, uh, as far as friends of mine, friends of our families that we've known forever, um, and just Make-A-Wish as a whole. You hear Make-A-Wish, and I think everybody kind of understands what Make-A-Wish is about and what they do. So it's not real difficult to to get help as far as donations for baskets and things like that. That first year, I remember Channel 6 News had come out and did an interview that day. But to get it started, it kind of just fell together, if that makes sense. It kind of all just come together.
Sometimes it does.
And
Sometimes it does.
And everybody, and since then, at 17, I didn't think 15 years later, at almost 32, I'd still be doing this.
Well, it takes a passion and a drive to do some kind of charity work like that.
Yeah.
And you just said, and it had to do with your family. So
Right.
anything to do with your family, you're going to be more invested. So being at the age of 17, trying to do this. Now, how about, let me ask you this. How did your buddies feel when you were trying to do this? Did they help you out? You know what I mean? Because everybody had to do a class project then, but still, you still need a lot of help putting this together.
Yeah, those first couple years, I had some friends come out, but not. I mean, a lot of it was more our family friends, and just people that have known our family. I was talking to you before. My grandparents live right in home.
Yes.
That big green house in the corner there across from Pikel's gas station, and Grandma and Pap knew everybody there. So the whole family knows a lot of people. So
sure. And I know some of your family members too, because I went to Marion Center myself. So the Bennett family I knew, and sometimes they used to come back in the old days. They came to wrestling shows.
Yes.
And that was, and it's right on a corner on 119. So it's pretty, especially Pikel's gas station is a historic landmark. So
definitely. Everybody knows where that's at.
Yep. So the first year was that your first event was the poker run. Now how can you do a poker run being 17 years of age and a senior in high school? Now didn't the school officials say, wait, what are you doing?
Well, no, because that's where A-Bait came in. A-Bait's a very well-respected organization, and they do a lot for the community and for, I know our local chapter in Indiana.
Is Smitty still the president?
He is not. Christine Rumbaugh is the president.
Okay. I used to work with Smitty at the Rose Inn back in the day. Smitty's a good man.
Yes. And Smitty was the president when I walked in. And you hear Smitty on the voicemails and talk to him on the phone, and then you walk in and see him, and it's like, but
and ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who Smitty was, he was a door guy at the Rose Inn back in the day. He was the president of A-Bait, but he was a big, hulking, bald biker individual with a heart of gold and was a big teddy bear.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And once you get to know those guys, you open up, it's not this stereotypical biker gang that everybody that don't know may think, but that first year, a lot of credit goes to them as an organization, because they're the ones that knew how to organize it. They took care as far as the signups and the poker cards and the money. And so they were the biggest help that first year to get everything going. And without them, I don't know that we make it happen. I don't know that we're here today still doing this, because they kind of showed us how to do it. And they showed us kinds of the ins and the outs that first year. And we've just taken off from there.
Now this poker run that you did 15 years ago goes every year.
Every year, the second Saturday in August. Now we meet at Pikel's BPN out there along 119 and home.
I know where that is. That's a legendary landmark in Indiana
Yes.
County. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
So we start there and we go riding, and we've been starting there, I think, or at least ending there, I know, since that second ride. But we've been starting there probably since the third or fourth year. We just ended up starting and ending at the same place. And Michelle and the gang out there and Dan just kind of opened their doors.
Well, the godfather of Marion Center is a true icon, and if you ask Danny Peichel to do anything, he will give the shirt off his back, and that's the kind of guy Dan Peichel is. I've known him all my life too, and he's one of a kind.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And this past year we had Josh Gallagher play, Nashville recording artist from Crescent, that was on The Voice. So he came up, him and his band, which was great. I enjoyed Josh's music beforehand, so that was awesome. Mm-hmm. We've had Sour Mash, which is a rock band that award-winning, rock band, local, and so many.
Now you're getting Brandon. You're getting a lot more when these fundraisers. You're getting some talent, some well-known Western Pennsylvania talent to come to these events because you've had them for so long now. It's a staple. It's a staple in Indiana County on a yearly event.
Yeah, it is. And the neat thing, and I can't remember everybody's name, but we have people that they come the first year and they've been there every year since. Maybe they showed up the second, third, fifth, sixth, whatever year they started coming, but yet they're there year after year after year, and you can recognize those faces. And so we just continue to build up the support. One of my biggest memories over the years, one of my best ones, two of them actually. We rode down. We left BP and we were going to Mohawk Lanes to the strike zone, and that was going to be our first stop. And I, through the Make-A-Wish office, getting a hold of Indiana Borough Police, and everybody said, "Which way are we going?" I said, "Right down Philadelphia Street." So
nice.
There we went. I think that year we had somewhere between 70 and 80 motorcycles, and there we went riding, right into town, down 4th Street and up Philadelphia Street and out 9th Street. And there was car alarms going off because they were sitting on the road and all that noise. And, between that and one year we went through Ligonier, and if you've ever been to Ligonier, you go in and you have to stop at a stop sign going on 7-Eleven South at Diamond. Mm-hmm. There was 2 cars in front of me. I was leading the pack, and so we had to stop. There was no issue. And there's a wedding party taking pictures on a Diamond. Well, if you've been around people on motorcycles, it don't take much for them to start cranking that throttle. And boy, did we ever. And I think that was the year we had around 120 bikes that year.
So you've been a bike enthusiast your whole entire life also?
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't get my first bike till about 4 years ago, I think.
Okay.
Where I was able to get my first bike and I was able to lead that run on the first time, which was awesome. I spent 10 or 11 years, whatever, organizing it. And then, to finally ride in it on a bike was just phenomenal. It was exciting. And I told my aunts, and I tell them every year, I said, the worst thing you ever did was let me buy a motorcycle, because now, I can't wait to plan that ride. And we get compliments. We really do, because we never go the same way. Each year's a different route. Each year's a different layout of stops.
Now you still do that with A-Bay, or now you do that for your charity?
Yeah, we started doing that as a family. And so I look and try to pick a route, and then try to look and see if there's bars or businesses that we can stop at that are, and I don't want to call it a problem because that makes it sound bad, but some of the places we used to stop at are just too small now. Because I have anywhere.
That's a good problem, Brian.
That's a
good problem.
It's a great problem, and it makes me happy. This year we had around 80 motorcycles.
Nice.
The past couple years we've had a little over 100. To be honest with you, Bubba, surprisingly, 2020 in the middle of COVID when it spiked.
I was just gonna ask you about that. How did you keep your charities going like that during the COVID pandemic?
So August, everybody kind of started loosening a little bit as far as the restrictions. As far as everything at Pikel's, we had to be outside. Which
Gotcha.
if you've been to BP, you know he's got that big deck out back and
Right. Big parking lot.
Yeah, and he, Dan knows everybody, and he can just make things happen.
That's why he's the godfather of Marion Center.
So he got 2 flatbeds, and I can't remember who donated them. 2 flatbeds, they put them side by side, and then he got a lumber company to come in and build a little stage outside for Sour Mash to play that year. And so we had hand sanitizer and all that stuff sitting around. And
right.
The hardest part that year was finding places that were okay with us coming in, because you were only allowed so many people, and all the stipulations it was. But there was I think there was 3 places that we ended up going. One was Griffith's Tavern, if I remember correctly, in Ormaw.
Mm-hmm.
One was Piddler's Pub, which now just changed names down in Ligonier. And then we went up to the Rail House, I believe, was the other one. So It was, we made it work, and we didn't have any issues, and things were great. And that's been the biggest turnout, number of riders, number of bikes
during COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And the thing about that, Brandon, is everybody is being classy and being cordial, because some poker runs I've been a part of and stuff like that, they weren't for charity, they just were poker runs.
Right.
They get a little crazy, but hey.
Yeah.
So you do the poker runs, and you've been doing it for 15 years. So what other event did you add on to that? Because you probably just do the poker one time a year, correct?
Yeah, the poker runs every August, every second Saturday in August every year. Is the bike run. That's a Donald J Bennett Run for Wish. And then somewhere along the line, I think it was maybe year 8, somewhere around there, we added a cash bash. So we started doing that. Another idea of Uncle Danny's Pikel's, and
he knows every angle of business.
Yes, he does, and that's really worked out well. In our 10th year, I wanted to do something a little bit more, because we'd been doing it 10 years, and so we had a car show. We had a motorcycle run on Saturday. We had a car show right at Pikel's there on Sunday.
Okay.
And that's the first time we did that, which was pretty neat. Since then, we've taken that car show and moved it to Brush Valley Park, right in Brush Valley. And we had, I believe, 130 or 140 vehicles there last year.
Oh, wow.
This year, it ended up with the weather and everything. I had to cancel it, which for the first time in 15 years, it's the first time we ever had to cancel anything.
Knock on wood, Brandon,
yes.
Because me being a wrestling promoter, I don't like to gamble against Mother Nature, because I have lost a couple times. So I don't like to do anything out in the open outside. Right. I love doing stuff on the outside, but the weather, you just never know. So that was a major problem though for this year, because you had to, you couldn't have it.
Yeah, and those guys with those cars, they don't want to bring them out in the rain, and I can't say that I blame them.
No.
So we added that. That would have been in our 10th year, which I believe was 2009, maybe, or I'm sorry, 2019, 2018, somewhere around there. We added that car show, and then I think it was 2 years ago we started a golf outing.
Where's the golf outing? That's a yearly event. Is your golf outing?
Yes, it has turned into a yearly event. We've had 2 of them.
That's hard to put on too. That's hard. That's hard to plan and promote and get sponsors. And I
Yeah.
feel you. That's not
Right.
an easy thing to do.
And I'm not real knowledgeable in that. So as we continue having them, we have it at Champion Lakes Golf Course down in between New Florence and Ligonier on 711.
Okay.
And it's a magnificent facility. It is absolutely gorgeous down there. You golf the front nine and you're facing Chestnut Ridge, and then you turn around and you golf the back nine and come back and you're facing Laurel Ridge and Laurel Mountain. And it's just beautiful down there. And Allison and her team down there have just helped tremendously. And I'll be getting together with her over the winter because she wants to try to help build that up a little bit more, which I'm looking forward to. So that's a relatively new event that we've started. But it's always on the go. It's always.
Let me ask you a question also with these events. Do you and your family or the team that you have, do you guys like brainstorm of ideas so you can think of ideas? Because I mean, Make-A-Wish is a one of the top charity organizations, in the world.
Yeah.
And it's more for kids.
Yes.
Right? It's more for kids.
Yes. Make-A-Wish. Okay. So to be eligible for a wish, I believe it's age 3 to 18 or 3 to 17. And there's a common misconception, which I try to correct every time I hear it. Make-A-Wish does not grant wishes to dying children. Make-A-Wish grants wishes to children battling life-threatening illnesses.
Okay. See, I didn't know that.
Right.
Because there's a difference, because I've seen, stuff that kids have passed away.
Right.
They got the wish, but it wasn't life-threatening at that time.
Right. Right. And so through Make-A-Wish and me knowing what they did for my cousin and the difference that we saw it, I saw it make, I know what those smiles mean to a family. And so that's kind of the drive that keeps me going. And to know that over the years I've met wish kids. I had a friend from high school, met and married a recipient of a wish. And, he went on and he's living a life like you and I are, and he beat his illness. And there's been several others that will come up to me and introduce themselves, or somebody will make the connection, and they received a wish at some point in time. And there's a scientific study that was released a handful of years ago that shows the strength and the power of these wishes. Sometimes, Bubba, that gives those kids that extra push they need to beat whatever it is that they're battling.
Yeah, and well, one of the greatest guys who gives these Make-A-Wishes is Mr. John Cena. I mean, yeah. And I look, and I appreciate him for what he does in the military and for his Make-A-Wish stuff. And I actually told him that one time when I met him very briefly, because those kids and I think a lot of wrestlers, they go into that and sometimes professional wrestlers are like live superheroes to these kids. Right. So if you just spend a little bit of time with them, that means the world.
Right. I had one of those superheroes. His name was Stone Cold Steve Austin when I was a kid growing up. He was my favorite that I sat and watched with Graham and Pap. But they do, and these kids, when they go on these a trip to Disney is the most common wish that gets granted. It's not just the kids. It's not like they have to pick one parent to go with them. They take the whole family. Mom and dad.
I never knew that. I don't.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Mom and dad, and I believe any siblings under the age of 18, they Make-A-Wish pays for the whole family. It's not just pick and choose. So what they do, I mean, it's amazing what they do.
But when you do, since you're based, are you the only Make-A-Wish organization in Indiana County? Or is there a couple more? I don't know.
I don't know that for sure. I believe so. Mm-hmm. I don't know that there's many other instances in the county that are raising money for Make-A-Wish. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I would have to call up the office and maybe ask them that. But you know, in just talking the other night to the gentleman from the Gazette, you know, about Saturday,
Mhm.
I said our money is what's called, they call it wish restricted. So the money that we raise stays in Indiana County first.
Okay.
So the money we raise will go to grant wishes in Indiana County, but that doesn't mean they're not going to use it for, you know, if they need it, they use it.
Uh-huh.
They're not going to stop any wish from being granted. And I'm certainly not going to say, no, I don't want you to use that money for, you know, whoever. But growing up in Indiana County and having done this for 15 years, to see just a great community we live in, it's something that I think sometimes we take for granted, and it's just a wonderful place to be, and a wonderful place to live, and it's something that not everybody gets to see like I get to see it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you're looking at it in a different kind of light where people are actually at their giving. You know, I mean,
Yes.
nowadays a lot of people are angry,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like that, and a lot of places
Mhm.
in Indiana, business wise, to me, is not like it used to be.
Right.
Well, before the situation had happened.
Right.
And a lot of people my age, we don't go out too much anymore. It's a different time now.
Yeah.
I'm older. It's different,
Yes.
but there is people in the community that are doing stuff to be entertaining and to do charity stuff like this. And you have
Mhm.
when you do stuff in Indiana and you're doing something, you have the full support of people from the county.
Yes. Oh, yes, most definitely. And I do. I mean, you know, that radio station and Renda Broadcasting, they are absolutely phenomenal in helping me, not only me to you know, get my events out there, and Todd Marino. It's no big deal for me to get a hold of him and say, hey, can I come on and do a 10-minute whatever about the car show, about whatever, and it's never an issue. So you know, we have a lot of assets right there, you know, in
Yeah,
our back.
because when any publicity is good publicity, and I know
Yes.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
today my company and your organization made the front page of the Indiana Gazette.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
awesome. That's awesome.
that's something,
Yes.
and I, it seems like, and I have to try to put the word out. Now, people might think, "Oh,
Right.
Bubba, you're just being egotistical," but no.
Mm-mm.
A lot of people in the area don't know about the company that I'm doing, just the
Right.
same as they don't know what you've been doing for 15 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you're trying to get somebody new at every poker run, every
Yeah.
car show, every
Hmm.
golfing outing.
Yep.
It's just marketing and just spreading the word.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So, have you thought of any other ideas besides the bike, the car, and the golf? Is there other
Um,
smaller, especially in the winter time when you guys can't go outside and do the stuff that you've been doing? Now, I know we'll talk a little later about what the situation we're going to be doing for Saturday, but has there
yeah.
been any other events or situations that you guys are trying to maybe come up with during the winter months? Because then you can still do stuff inside.
Right. The VFW post, the Dwayne Boring VFW post 9310 down in Robinson. Um, we do a dance there with DJ Tom Hoover. Um, in the February, March kind of time frame.
Like a
Um,
Valentine's Day dance or something.
yeah, something
Okay.
along those lines. So that's one thing. But uh, you know, to be honest with you, once January comes, we have so much time between the dance kind of plans itself. There's not a whole lot to plan for that, but
Right,
you know,
right.
between getting ready for a cash batch, which is normally around April, and then you roll right into the car show, and then you know the golf outing and the bike run. So by the time August comes around, it's kind of, you know, I like to say that last 4 months of the year is our off time.
Gotcha.
You know?
Gotcha. Yeah, because it takes a lot of time to plan the events that
Right.
you're doing. Because I mean, I know
Yeah.
firsthand, but I mean, you're planning all these events.
Mhm.
You're trying to spread the word, getting people there, and you're trying to raise stuff because you've been doing it for 15 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
And-
you're probably the only person that still did, if you did this kind of stuff for the civic duty of high school, probably not too many people are still doing something like if they did this, you know.
Yeah,
Probably
you're
not.
probably right. You're probably right about that. Yeah.
So now, well, since you do this, like if you go to Pikel's
Mhm.
and you're doing your golf down in Ligonier and Robinson, I mean, that's a big area to cover.
Oh yeah. Oh, big time. It's definitely a big area. See, I myself live in Brush Valley. So,
Okay.
to have the car show at the park here, it kind of brings a whole different group or whole different clientele or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe they don't want to go up to Pikel's and spend a Saturday evening up there but a Sunday afternoon car show sounds like a great thing to them. And
Well, that Brandon, and you're getting two different types of situations. You're
yeah,
going to get the people that love the bike and they'll actually travel to go and entertain and do that, and then you got the people that will just want to be mesmerized by the cars, hang out, chit chat with everybody because they all admire everybody's cars. They go walking
right.
around, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
more of a peaceful setting than it would be. Nothing against the poker runs, but I mean,
No.
you're going to have music and people are going to be talking and stuff like
Right.
that. So that's two different varieties of entertainment and events
Right.
that you have under your
Yes.
belt.
Oh yes. And those two events and the Cash Bash, and
Well,
I
that's
tell
three.
people this. Yeah. And those three events, and I tell people this and they look at me like I'm crazy, but all the food that we serve at those events is made by my family.
Okay. See,
all the food and I should say our team, because it was kind of strictly our family. And then it got to a point where
how many people are on your team?
I'd say anywhere from 15 to 30 total.
Wow.
When it comes down to it, between the family and those.
That's awesome. Because that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I know sometimes you can count a couple people on your right hand.
Right. Right. Yeah. I know what you mean. And, through the years, and I've got it down. I got a group of guys. If you've ever been on a bike run, you have to ride the route. You have to see what roads you need to block. And, if you've never been on a bike run, but maybe you got caught up in people waiting, those guys riding those bikes are paying. They don't need to pay to ride their bikes. They can ride them as much as they want or wherever they want. But, they're paying a fee to come and ride in that ride to benefit Make-A-Wish or benefit whatever charity it is that they're supporting. And so we block the road to get us all through and try to keep us all safe. And, I got a group of guys that we get together and we ride that run beforehand. And they're guys that I trust, my uncles, good friends of mine that have just,
Right. You got a good team.
And yeah. And so we got a good team on that aspect. And as far as the golf outing, to lay it
that
all
could
out,
that could be very lucrative in a charity sense, because a lot of people I know golf. I mean, a lot of golf tournaments around Indiana County is huge.
Yeah.
And you just got to get that right nick of people that golf, and then that could be
right there.
Treasures galore.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes. Like I said, we've done 2 of them, and this year's was a little bit bigger as far as team wise than last year's. And
are you allowed to advertise? This is crazy. Are you allowed to advertise your golf outing at other golfing establishments?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because some people are, some businesses frown upon that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But that would be good if they, for that one day they let you put up a flyer and maybe three foursomes for their golf comes down and goes into your golf thing. Yeah, that's great. And hopefully that is done. That can be done.
Right. Yeah, it's I sit back and think I was going to quit this at 10 years, Bubba. I was done.
Don't tell me, because I never thought I was going to be a wrestling promoter. So
when I started this, it was a special thing with me and my aunt, with Donald's mom, and we lost her in that accident at the gas station there in
yes, very tragic.
I
yes, very tragic.
Right. And so, the outpouring of love that we received that year alone, I think I had almost 250 items to call off raffle between baskets and whatever that year. It was absolutely insane. But so we got that. I think that was year 9. We got to year 10. I said, you know what? I think we're just gonna, call it a day. And we've done amazing and we've done great. And
Right.
I'm going down the road, and
It's a calling.
I think I was in West Virginia. I was driving, which at that time I was a courier for a lab, and my phone goes off. And so when I get up to the gas station, whatever, I look at it, and here it's a buddy of mine from high school that I played football with that I hadn't seen since we graduated. And just out of nowhere, it was a message about how great it is, seeing everything that I'm doing for Make-A-Wish. And I'm like, I'm sitting there, and I swear I said it out loud. I'm like, I can't quit.
No.
And so,
No.
and now the ladies at the office tease me because I was going to quit. And now we got the car show.
Well, that was a calling. That was a calling from the man upstairs saying, hey, because that's things. That's how things are.
Right.
So, and what school did you play football for?
United.
Oh man, when I played, you guys used to beat us all the time, man. And I'm back in the late '80s, but yeah. So okay, so you got everything organized, and now this event here Saturday night is the first sporting event that you ever have taken part in.
Right.
So when my sister and her sister-in-law Renee kind of got a hold of you, how did you feel about that? You don't mind me asking.
I thought it was pretty cool. Renee's like a second mom to me. In fact, I even call her mom. And so when when her and your sister Kelly got a hold of me, I'm like, oh, okay. Let me know what he needs. Let me know what we can do. And like I told you, it's absolutely amazing. And so I'm so appreciative of, you doing what you're doing and reaching out to help these kids. And it makes such a difference in their lives. And, like I said, it's not only their lives, but their families too. Mm-hmm. It opens up another door. Like we said, between the bike run and the car show, that's 2 different groups of people. And now we're opening it up to, yet another fan base or group of supporters. And, I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Cause I've done some charities and I just got back into this. But I've never, and Kelly was like, hey Jay, and when my sister talks, I got to listen, sometimes. So, and Make-A-Wish to me is, and it's all about the kids. Like even in my wrestling career, it's all about the kids, and it's still about the kids.
Right.
That's why the Allied Powers Wrestling Federation is more fan friendly. I don't want that. I don't want the crazy stuff. I don't want that anymore. So kids can actually enjoy it, and parents can actually say, it's not Walt Disney, but it's not crazy like the old ECW kind of stuff. Which, So yeah. So this event is going to be. Have you ever been to the Kastle facility before?
I have not. I have not been there.
Okay, well, Tony and the guys at the Kastle are great. They do a lot of stuff for kids. They have a boxing complex on the other side. They train boxing and they do athletics. But Tony is all about the kids, so that's one of the reasons why me and Tony, met, and we have a kind of partnership kind of thing, trying to help each other out. But Saturday night, a percentage of the ticket sales is going to go, to your, Donald J Bennett fund, and we'll have you guys can set up a table and have your banners, and people can come over and talk to you, and you can tell more about the organization, and we'll plug it on the mic, and because I've never had a charity there before. Usually it's you get the and then you give it to them later. Whatever you make, you know what I mean? You give it to them later, like the Teddy Bear Fund Drive. So, yeah. So, I'm honored that you actually accepted. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
and well, what's your take on professional wrestling to begin with?
You
You
know,
said
I,
you like Stone Cold, so I mean,
yeah, I haven't watched it lately much at all, to be honest with you, for quite a
well,
while.
that's okay. A
Um,
lot of people haven't.
right. But I remember what my grandmother absolutely loved wrestling. If I remember, it was what, Tuesday and Thursday and Friday,
It
and
was every night,
uh,
Monday,
with the
Sunday. It was every night. Yeah.
WWF and Goldberg and I, all those guys. And so then when I remember them going to your events or whatever at
And
the
that's
army.
when we talked on out in the studio.
Yeah,
And that sometimes stuff gets full circle because your
yeah,
family used to come to the old APWF shows back in the day.
yeah,
So
oh,
and
yeah,
sometimes everything is full circle,
yeah.
which to me is cool.
It is, and they used to go out to wrestling events at the Omni there in Indiana,
I
and then
know.
I I myself as a kid went. They took me to one of the events at K Arena,
Oh
and if I
God.
remember right, Bubba, now that I'm thinking about this,
Oh
I'm
God.
fairly certain that you're the one that handed my mom and dad the tickets at Drillers before that event. You gave them tickets to be there. So,
Wow.
and we were ringside, and it was a fun night, and I'm looking forward to living that again, I guess you could say. But
Well, it's sometimes it goes full circle. Like I
right,
didn't know until we
right,
spoke off camera in the studio,
yeah,
and that makes it more. I
right,
mean that article when you told Nathan and you interviewed and I interviewed,
hmm
and my God bless my mother. My mother, wrote me real quick, and she's like, "Oh my God, that interview you're doing, Mom. Your mom's always going to be biased, no matter what,
yeah, I know,
and I
yep,
appreciate it, and I God bless her.
right, yep,
But it's just something that I'm glad that we can actually help, and like I said, we can, maybe we can. This could be one of your events, and you know what I mean, because I'm trying to do 3 to 4 events a year, and
yeah,
and especially it's Indiana County based. It's
yes,
it's it's for the kids,
yeah.
and Make a Wish is a big entity. Now, have you been to any bigger associations or seminars for Make a Wish, like conventions or something like that, based off the Indiana stuff that you've been doing for so long?
I have not. I work with the office in Punxsy. There's a satellite office in Punxsy, and the ladies up there, and Lacey, and different ones I've dealt with through the years they're so great in what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They make us as an event organizer. We don't go without anything. They're always there. Do you need something? And they show up to the events, and um, so it's awesome.
So it's more Indiana, but it seems like you're getting help from Jefferson County and you
Oh
got
yeah,
Westmoreland County. So
right.
realistically, your organization is probably in 4 or 5 counties, Armstrong and probably Cambria as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I can't remember, exactly how many counties that Punxsy office does. I know most of it goes north. Our local chapter is the Greater Pennsylvania and Southern West Virginia, or
Okay.
maybe just West Virginia now. Greater Pennsylvania, West Virginia. I can't remember. But so, and then they have those satellite offices. So they cover the most of Pennsylvania, I believe, all except maybe the corner down around Philadelphia, and then West Virginia. So the main office is in Pittsburgh, and
Yeah.
then you have these satellite offices, and Indiana County falls under the one in Punxsy there. Um,
Okay. I didn't know that. But it
right.
seems like your territory is very vast.
Oh
It's just
yes.
not
Right.
Indiana. I mean, you're doing
Right.
golf outings in Ligonier and Westmoreland
Yeah.
County, and
Yeah.
you got the satellite in Jefferson County. So
Yeah.
it's bigger. This is bigger than the golf outing, and
Yes.
those are events. But your
Yeah.
organization is bigger than the events, which
Oh,
is a good
definitely.
thing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
So how do people like get in touch with you and want to maybe do something or donate or help out, or how would they get that? Would they just get a hold of you, or do you have like?
Yeah, they can get a hold of me, or we have a Facebook page, the Donald J Bennett Run for Wish, and the four is the number four. So Donald J Bennett Run for Wish on Facebook, and I haven't got a total, obviously, for what money we raised this year yet, thus far, but before this year, we were right around $130,000 in 15 years, and
Wow.
yeah, it's been absolutely amazing.
Well, hopefully I can give you a little. I can give you
Yeah,
some, and look,
yeah.
I'm trying. It's
Any little bit helps.
well, yeah, but still, I mean, I'm a kind of person where I want to, try to help the world, but
Right.
it's one day at a time.
Yeah.
So people can get a hold of you on Facebook if they want to. Know what about donations or stuff like that?
You can get a hold of me on Facebook, or you can just go straight to the Make-A-Wish page and donate there.
The main Make-A-Wish page, or do you guys
Yeah,
have your own, or does it get allotted in Indiana County, or it just goes into the Make-A-Wish?
I think it just goes into the Make-A-Wish. I'm not
Okay.
certain. I can get you details on that if you want to forward that information after I confirm it or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, the easiest thing is just get a hold of me on Facebook, and then
Okay.
we can go from there. And you can even reach out just to my own personal page. It doesn't matter. But
So that's how you get a lot of people get a hold of you, is through your personal Facebook account.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we have an email too. It's run again, the number 4 wish at gmail.com.
What is it again?
Run the number 4 wish. Run 4 wish at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Run, RUN 4 WISH at gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because I'll tag it in in the audio, because I put this on Spotify. And
Okay.
then, I'll tag it everywhere I possibly share this at. So
Yeah.
because now since you just anything you have, just let me know, and like I said off camera, that I will help share it,
Mhm.
because I try to do that when people come on the show. So it's a bigger, vast experience. That's why it's an experience. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And if I can use this platform and God bless, God willing, the wrestling platform to actually help charities, that's what I'm
Mhm.
all about. As long as it's, because I try to have my company very classy and very professional, and
Right.
maybe we might be the only ones that are doing charities on every show, but I'm trying to do different charities so people can get a slice of the pie.
Yeah.
So that's a
Mhm.
good thing. And my staff is great, and God bless them. And if my wife didn't support me, I probably wouldn't be doing this, but God bless her.
Yeah.
But so Saturday night, we're gonna do like a percentage of the proceeds at Nightmare at the Castle. We're gonna have you guys set up a table, like I said, and people can come over to you and they could talk to you and they could donate and they could get more
Mhm.
information, because it's a little bit of Indiana County goes down to the Castle, as
Yep.
we saw as the last show. So we are hoping to we have a Halloween costume party and stuff like that. We're gonna try to have surprise giveaways and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm honored that I can have this organization, because it is a good organization. It is.
Oh, yes.
It's about the kids, man. It's
Yeah.
some kids, people can knock John Cena all they want, but when John Cena is doing 60,000 Make-A-Wish things for kids,
Yeah.
like, I didn't like him when he was a wrestler, which people think I'm crazy, but the Make-A-Wish stuff, I'm all for that, and the
Right.
Peacemaker. So that he changed me. Doing military, and Make-A-Wish
Mhm.
first, military, and his acting has wasn't the wrestling
Yeah.
that made me like him. It was the
Right.
Make-A-Wish stuff that he did.
Well,
So
it's kind of hard to like somebody you can't see. You know what I mean?
that's a good one. Yeah, you're right, Brandon. You're right. Oh, that's funny. Hey, so that was good. So before we get out of here, I got a couple questions for you,
Yeah.
like off canter.
Okay.
So okay, so you're at your house and it's a Saturday night and you're not doing any type of Make-A-Wish shows.
Yeah.
What movie would you put in your entertainment system to pop onto TV? Your number one favorite movie of all
Ooh.
time?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'll give you two. I'll give you two movies.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd probably be one of them would be The Shooter with
John.
the Wahlberg, The Shooter.
Oh, okay, okay, the shooter. Okay,
And the other one, I got a lot of favorites, but I'd say the other one that I don't watch a lot, but is between Clint Eastwood's In the Line of Fire
oh,
and
okay.
John Wayne's El Dorado.
Whoa, that's old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, the Duke. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you said you're into the when you had the country performer come in at doing your shows.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your favorite genre of music?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Now, I am a big Kiss fan. Don't get me
Okay.
wrong. I love
I didn't
Kiss.
know that.
My
Okay.
dad and I have been to see Kiss, I think, 4 times. And unfortunately, last December was the last time in Baltimore, that they quit touring. But, we went to see them 4 times. But other than that, yes, country's the genre of choice.
Okay. So before I ask the other question, what is your best country artist?
Ooh. I'd probably have to go with George Strait.
Okay.
I'm a
Old school.
and Luke
guy.
Combs. I had the chance to meet Luke Combs, and he's a pretty cool guy. But 90s country and even 80s country, George Strait. That's those are some of my favorites. Johnny Cash and
Oh yeah, Cash is good. Cash is good.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
If you went out, would it be pizza or would it be wings?
Ooh, more than likely pizza.
Okay.
More than likely pizza, or a little bit of both.
Okay. So in Indiana County, where if you're hungry for some pizza and a little bit of wings, where do you usually is your number one spot?
My number one, Griffith's Tavern in Ormaw.
They do have good food.
They do.
They do.
They do. And it's not, I mean, the wings and pizza are good. Don't get me wrong, but they've got a lot of other good food as well.
I had a turkey wrap up there a couple months ago, and it was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So this might be a tough one to answer because it's going to be you got to have one word to describe yourself. I never talk about myself, but well, what people think, let's go say what people, have said about you in a probably a good way, I'm sure.
If I would, yeah. I'd like to look, I'd say normal. I look at myself like just a normal guy, and there's,
okay.
In all the years that we've done this, there's been so many people come up and, tell me I'm special and tell, this and that, but I don't see myself that way. I just see myself.
Well, you're doing something,
guy.
Brandon, that a lot of people cannot do.
Right.
To do these charities and put the hard-earned time and effort into this stuff is it's payless and it's thankless.
Yeah.
So you doing what you're doing is something special, and everybody in the area should probably realize that, because it's not a lot. It's not a lot. No offense, that a 17-year-old kid starts a charity at 17 years old and is still doing it to this day.
Right.
That's highly unlikely and highly unheard of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I commend you for that. My last question.
Okay.
Where do you see Brandon Mountain in 5 years?
In 5 years. Probably planning Make-A-Wish events.
Good answer. Well, that means, because that's good.
life is great. I'm a union electrician, and I just got out of my apprenticeship in that. And
Congratulations.
Make-A-Wish. Thank you. And last year the Lord spoke to me and led me down a path in ministry. So I started that and started,
Oh, wow. I
preaching
didn't
at
even,
the
oh,
church
so
on Sunday. Yeah.
so you have your own, do you preach on Sundays and stuff like that? Do you have your own, uh,
Yeah. I'm the minister at Brush Valley Chapel, right outside of Brush Valley, on the way to Yellow Creek, there between Brush Valley and Yellow Creek. There's a
wow.
little white
Okay.
church by the side of the road, and the Lord's been good to me, and I'm blessed to have the people I have around me. And like I said earlier, I'm on the podcast. I get on the Facebook, and it's my voice everybody hears and my face everybody sees. But if it wouldn't be for the people that I'm blessed to have around me, none of this happens.
Well,
I
it takes a village to feed everybody. That's what they
it
say.
does. It does very much so.
Wow. That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
A charity organizer, founder,
Yeah.
a,
Yeah.
a priest, reverend.
Yeah.
Wow. A lot of facets there, Brandon. A lot of facets.
There is. There
But
definitely is.
but honestly, I've never met you in my entire life ever.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
well, maybe when you were a kid,
Maybe.
but I didn't a kid and seeing, but not talking in a conversation
Right.
that we are, because I didn't know much about you. I should put it that way. But
Right.
the conversation that we just had tonight, it seems like you're motivated and you're positive and doing stuff, and
Oh yeah.
and your energy is
Yeah.
very, very good. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and that's why I'm glad my sister told me about this, because I
Mhm.
mean, I think that article in the Gazette between the two of us cemented something, because your quotes were very, very good in that, and it got your, I hope it got your organization out there a little bit more too. So that's what it's about. It ain't about sometimes about me. It's about the whole encompassing about everything.
Yeah. Well, I definitely appreciate it. I told you that a couple of times before
Oh,
tonight.
you don't have to. Well, I want to give you some cash Saturday night and say, hey, Brandon, here you go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do, and make sure everybody has an entertaining time at the Kastle. But
Right.
I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. I'm
And
excited.
yeah, and before we get out of here, I'm gonna show. I don't know if you ever seen this, but I got the commercial for the show. So
Okay.
before we get out of here, we're gonna run this commercial. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't got your tickets, go to www.apwfwrestling.com. A percentage of the proceeds are going to be going to the Donald J Bennett Run for Life. For Wish, I'm sorry, for Wish, and well, it's gonna save a life, because that's what
It
they
is.
do.
It
Yeah.
is. Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna end on this note. Brandon, thank you so much. But we're gonna go out with this commercial about the show Saturday night. Hopefully, we can see everybody. Brandon will be in the house. You guys can go over and see him. He's gonna have a donation box there. You guys give him some love and give him some support. So, Brandon, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bubba.
And like I said, this could be a yearly thing.
It could be.
Yes,
Let's
it
do
could.
it. Let's do
So
it.
everybody, good night.